afternoon. I'm in a forest. Why? Because there's no one around. It's just me. I've got some, I've got a video that I want to record. It's a difficult video, and you might say, why are you in a forest with a camera recording a video? You would have seen the title. I feel safe. Out here. There's no one around. It took me a while to get here. I found this lovely little clearing. And why am I making this video? I don't really know, if I'm honest. There's a couple of kind of reasons that spring to mind. I looked back at, I haven't, there's still, I think three or four videos of Poland to go up, and I was going through some of the footage and looking at yourself. It was hard, it was hard. Especially there's a video where I had to pretty much spend the night on the streets, with locals, and I fed them, and it was lovely. But I was looking at it thinking, I was so hyper vigilant. It looked like it looked like I was drunk or stoned, and it's crazy because I don't drink. But yeah, it was a hard watch. That video will go up on my channel. But anyway, also, the thing is, if someone watches this and can relate or has a similar kind of story, hasn't been diagnosed yet, if I can help someone, fantastic. Also, at the end of the video, so please wait till the end, but there's an announcement. I'm doing something for UK homeless. It's going to be a real challenge. It's going to be grueling, but I'm up for it. Anything I can do, really. So yeah, that'll be at the end. So, complex PTSD. PTSD. Most of you probably know what PTSD is. Complex PTSD is slightly different. I guess the easiest way to kind of explain it. PTSD is a single event. Complex PTSD is a period of time with lots of events. And the biggest kind of difference in that sense is PTSD. You kind of know what your trigger is because it's on that one event. So let's just say, I don't know, it could be a car crash, war. You could get PTSD around that one event. Complex PTSD becomes more complex because it's a period of time with lots of traumatic. It's all around trauma. So it's lots of traumatic events. So later on in life, because there's such a long period of trauma, pretty much anything can become stimuli to set you off to kind of bring back that trauma, and a lot of it boils down to you don't feel safe in the world, and I was only diagnosed last summer, and it's all kind of since then. It's I think thinking about it, I think the hardest thing about living with trauma is not recognising what happened was traumatic, and it's so complex PTSD, it affects every area of my life, everything. There's not one thing it doesn't affect. I'll give a little bit about my past, just to put this into context. Really, I'm not here to talk about my past in particular. I'm not here to get any sympathy. That's not what I'm about. I had a difficult childhood, difficult past. A lot of things happened. I won't go in. I don't want to go into it. That's for my own kind of therapy that I'm doing at the moment, and I will be doing for quite some time. But a quick snapshot. By the time I was 20, I'm 45 now. By the time I was 20, I was living on the streets. Over 40 people had died in my life. I'd been shot in the leg, or wound in my leg. I'd accidentally overdosed. I'd got caught up in addiction. When I say 40 people had died, that includes everybody close to me. Pretty much everybody just died. And that's really affected me later on in life, because I find it so hard to trust, to have any kind of relationship, because deep down I just think they're going to die. So it's hard. It's a hard one to take. But at least I know what's happening to me. Because for someone that hasn't had any kind of trauma, or any kind of PTSD or anything like that, for me, my symptoms, and it's different. It's slightly different for everyone, but for my symptoms, the best way for me to describe it is, for a normal person, that flight or fight response. Let's just say you are out and I don't know, a situation arises where you have to fight or fly. I don't know, you're going to get robbed. That moment just before, so let's just say someone pulls a knife out on you to rob you. When that knife comes out, that feeling, that panic feeling, the best way I can describe how I feel is, as soon as I open my eyes in the morning, that feeling is on me, and it stays on me all day long. There's no relief. There's pretty much no relief, and and that's why addiction becomes so connected to PTSD. That's why you hear about people coming back from war just drinking. Because say, even if you're in conversation with your friends, let's go out and get out your head. Think about them words, get out your head. You want to get out of your head, because most people might work all week, stress at work, go to the pub just to relieve that stress. Any reprieve from PTSD and how you feel, that hyper arousal, that hypersensitive. Even now, I'm in the middle of a forest and I can feel myself looking around, but it becomes, addiction and complex PTSD is so connected, but it can be a bit like the chicken egg scenario, which came first. But I'm not here to analyse it. And the problem is, being hyper aroused about everything teaches you to analyse the world big time. My built-in survival mechanism is incredible. Too much, and like an idiot, I went off and studied a couple of psychology degrees, and it's I already analysed the hell out of everything, and I went and studied something which they teach you to analyse. So, but anyway, that's I'm not saying I'm glad I did it. So that's my past. It's been difficult. But it's it is what it is, and I've never been after sympathy, any of that stuff. It is what it is. It's my life, and I try and make the most of it, and I've done some incredible things in my life. I've trained to become an Ofsted registered children's manager, did that, and anyone that knows me knows that I did that very well. It's just a shame that my illness came and bit me on the arse. But I won't get into that now. I might speak about things like that in another video. So what are the symptoms? What other things do I have to deal with? There's, I've had a couple of incredible, women in my life, but that must have been a nightmare. I do things like, and and sometimes this isn't too obvious, because over the years it's just been in tune for me to do this. But if I go to, let's just say, a restaurant, a cinema, I don't know, a bar, within a few seconds I know exactly who's in that bar or that cinema, where they're sitting, where the exit is. If anyone looks like they're going to bring danger to me, within a split second, I've got that whole. It's kind of like an X. I walk in, it's kind of like an X-ray. I can just kind of. It's crazy, but I didn't know. I just thought I was a very hyper. When I say hyper, I'm not hyperactive. I mean hyper vigilant. I just thought that was me. I didn't know what was wrong with it, and no, it's not. It's not me, and that's not the way most people are. I walk in and my ex might say to me, "Well, this looks like a lovely place." I hadn't looked at the place, I'm too. Those first few seconds, I am scanning and I am working out if I'm in danger. I'm working out how to get out, what to do. Another situation, and this happened in Poland, and I think the Poland trip's kind of swayed me to do this video because this happened in Poland, and you're seeing the videos, but I dropped my phone. And that phone had all my information to get into the apartment. I didn't even know where the apartment was. I just didn't know. I didn't have the address. So I asked the taxi driver to help me. I kind of remembered a few landmarks close by. And he tried to scam me. He tried to rob me. Well, not rob me. He tried to scam me. He tried to just taking me around the city, and then he was charging me. I wasn't happy with this, and part of that kind of safety thing that I deal with is I'm very kind of protective over my things, me, and I said to him, "You're scamming me, mate. Don't scam me. I said you're gonna have a very bad day if you scam me." And not saying, trust me, I'm not saying I'm hard. I don't like fighting. I don't like, that's not what I'm about at all. But because I'm either in fight or flight, the second he's going to scam me, I looked round at him, and instantly he looked terrified, and just stopped the car and went, "Can you please get out of the car and please don't slam the door?" And it kind of got me thinking, then I just turned on. I only looked at him, didn't say, after I said, I just looked at him, and the second he saw my eyes, I had those kind of. It was almost like my eyes were dead, and I was just staring at his soul, and he probably thought, you know what, it's not worth it, let's just get him out of my car. But it got me thinking, is that what other people see in me sometimes? Like, do I yeah, it's pretty messed up. It's pretty messed up, but I've got to the stage in my life where I'm dealing with it. I'm not taking any drugs or any drink to cover it up. I have to deal with the problem. Because trust me, the last thing I ever want to do is take drugs. I can't stand the things. I've woke up in beds and there's been people dead next to me. I've opened rubbish chutes and people have fallen out the bottom of rubbish chutes, all due to addiction. It was an epidemic. You guys went through COVID. Where I grew up, we'd been in an epidemic for years. But it's not really talked about. These drugs were just wiping communities out, and it's bad, really bad. But that all ended a long time ago for me. I've got a 15-year-old son, and this was all way before I moved to where I live now. Look behind me. This isn't too far from my house. I didn't grow up in these sort of places. So it's a lot different. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I'm currently in therapy. The amount of medication they try and treat me with antipsychotics. I don't take any of it. I've tried them all. Each one absolutely wipes me out. It's horrible. And I'm talking. I don't even know the names of them. I'm talking the hardcore antipsychotics that they give to people with schizophrenia. The drugs that. I guess they don't want me walking around hypervigilant, because these drugs that they give me wipe me out, absolutely wipe me out. So I don't take anything for it. I'm going through the kind of talking therapy, and so the bottom line is stressful situations make me very, very uneasy, and that overspills. I can't trust people. I can't get close to people. The second I get close to people, I worry they're going to die. And it's messed a lot of things up. A lot of things. Because people that know me, people that actually get to know me, realise that I'm one of the nicest people around. I really am. But so it's hard. As you can probably see, it makes me emotional, and this isn't unusual. There's some days I wake up and I can't leave the house, and I'm just in bits all day. Anyway, another thing I wanted to say: if you're watching this and you think you may have some mental health issues or addiction problems, but mainly mental health, don't diagnose yourself. Please go and see a GP. Please go and see a GP. I feel bad for my son at times, because certain things that I probably won't be able to give him. Because I get so far in life, and a situation just, and it comes crashing down, and I have to reset and start again. But anyway, onto some future plans, because this isn't, I get emotional. I'm speaking to a camera because I can do that. Hopefully one day I'll be able to sit down in front of another human being that isn't a therapist and speak to them to this level, on this honesty, this honesty. But sorry. Anyway. My plan is there is a walk from coast to coast. I don't know much about it other than I think you walk right across England, and there's a trail, and you go over the Lake District. It's 190 miles. Most people do it for leisure, and then go off and get B&B, or they take lovely tents and they make it a lovely 2-week trip. Because of what I kind of do and my past, I've decided to put a little bit of a spin on it. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do a homeless version of it. So I'm not going to take a tent. I'm going to take a rucksack and some walking equipment, because I'm 45 and I'm unfit. This might be a bit of a grueling challenge for me. Well, it might be, it will be. I don't even know whether it's going to be possible, but I'll do it. I'll do it. It's 190 miles, and I'm going to be sleeping rough every night in bushes. If I'm lucky, there might be a shed somewhere that's left. Wherever I have to sleep, I'll sleep in. But I want to raise some money. I want to raise some awareness for homeless charity. So I'm going to do it for shelter. I've made a GoFundMe, and once I hit the target, I'll do it. The money will go direct to shelter. The problem is, I do need a few bits. I need a bag. I need some shoes. I need some walking sticks, poles. I'm sure they've got a name, but I don't. I'm not a walker, really. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do it before June. I want to do it over the summer. I think doing it when the weather's really cold, without a tent, without any shelter, just putting myself through absolute misery. Even in the summer it's going to be cold at night, but it's going to be on average 15 miles walking over. I don't know. I think the trail looks like you're going up mountains, down mountains. Everything that I raise from GoFundMe will go directly to shelter. I've also, because I haven't got much money at the moment, if I'm totally honest with you. And you know what I do on my channel. I try to fly around and I try to help homeless communities, and that all costs money, you know. So I've opened a I think it's called Buy Me a Coffee. You know, I'm going to be completely transparent with it all. You know, everything that, you know, if I'm lucky enough to get anything from that's going to go on walking shoes, and anything I need really for the trip, except for a tent. I'm not going to take any money as well. I'm going to give I'm not going to start hunting and stuff on the way, because that's just adding another element. So I am going to let myself have £2.50 a day for basic food. I'm hoping there's shops. I'm not going to do any training, no research. I'm going to have no shelter and £2.50 a day, and I'm doing it on my own, solo. That's it, on my own, and I'm going to film it. I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel. Yeah, so please, I'm going to end it there. So that's what's coming up. Please see the links below. If you know anyone that struggled with mental health, you know, particularly PTSD or complex PTSD, any addiction, any homelessness, please share this video to them, or just share it so people can see it. You know, I had a little look on YouTube. It doesn't seem to be many people sharing their story about PTSD or complex PTSD. You know, and I'm happy to make more of these if people like it and people want to kind of see updates. Yeah, I'll do that. You know, I'm very, very anxious about putting it on. You know, there might be some negativity, but you know what? I'm past the point of caring. You know, I'm in my little world with my son, and that's about it. No kind of, yeah. So if you want to be negative about it, then go ahead. I don't really care. You know, just think about what you're doing. You know, what are you doing? Why are you being negative? Yeah, so any donations for this walk, you know, I'm sure there's going to be a homeless person somewhere in the UK that would give you a big hug if you could donate. You know, much love. See you soon. There's going to be Poland videos coming up. I'm trying to spread them out a little bit because I'm not going anywhere probably for a few weeks, or maybe a little bit longer, but yeah, every kind of 4 or 5 days there's going to be another Poland video. I'm currently doing the homeless roulette series, so yeah, take a watch. Much love, peace out.